You know, I'm a very simple man. You can just ask my wife. She'll tell you. I'm a simple man. Not a dumb man. Not simple like, not there with it. But simple. I like things simple. I don't get into a lot of stuff, If my TV breaks down, I don't need to know the exact, the inner workings of it, okay? When I'm working a computer, if the button works and it does what I want it to do, I'm really quite happy about it. That's fine. I don't need to break it all apart, although I have, but to fix it and all that, I don't have that inner need, And to some degrees, that's how I felt about my spirituality. See, I have faith. I can manifest stuff. I've created a really great life. I know it works because I have faith in it. I don't need to have it proven to me through science. So when Kathy asked me to speak today for this morning, and I asked her, okay, well, so what's the lesson about? Where are we talking about? Well, the book is Mind to Matter. I wasn't really thrilled about it. I don't really need to know about microtubules and synaptic connections and bundles of neurons. So I began to read the book. I was totally wrong. Absolutely wrong. This book has enlightened me to some really incredible information. The last time I did really much on brain studies, I realized was 44 years ago in my physiological psychology class at Chico State. A lot of stuff has changed, let me tell you. Wow. I mean, I was completely blown away. For an example, and this is, every page is filled with stuff, okay? That's one of those kinds of things. And I've got a short amount of time here, so I can't take you through the entire thing. So I really wanted to focus on this one idea, okay? And it's about the brain. And I always just sort of thought, without really giving it much thought, that, you're born, you have a brain, your brain develops, and from the brain comes these thoughts. Well, that doesn't even make sense in relation to what I believe on my spiritual level. The truth is that's completely reverse. Let me read something for you. Okay. Our brains are on the Boyle, which I had to read that. Frantic cellular activity cycles through the brain constantly, creating and destroying molecules and cells, whether we are awake or asleep. Even the structure of neurons is constantly changing. Microtubules are the scaffolding that gives a cell their rigidity, similar to the way girders shape a building. The microtubules in the brain's nerve cells have a shelf life of just 10 minutes between creation and destruction. That's how quickly our brains are changing, our physical brains. Okay, so keep that in mind. But I've got more. In this seething mass of activity, selected neural circuits are enhanced. The ones that grow are the ones we use. Okay, so I kind of knew that. That's good. And then they pass an information signal repeatedly through the neural bundle, and the bundle starts to enlarge. Just as the arms of a bodybuilder get bigger as he practices lifting heavier weights, our neural circuits grow when we exercise them. Okay. Now, The speed of the process caused an earthquake in the world of our scientific knowledge. When the neurons in a neural bundle are stimulated repeatedly, the number of synaptic connections can double in just an hour. If your house acted like your body, it would notice which lights you were turning on, and every hour it would double the amount of electrical conduit going through that light circuit. Your mind is constantly making decisions, such as whether to enroll in that Russian class or join the chess club. What the mind does then determines which brain circuits are engaged. What the mind does. The mind is developing the brain. Our thinking is developing our brain. It is not the brain, it is the thinking. Wow, that is cool. I think that's amazing. Okay, the neural pathways in the brain that the mind chooses stimulate are the ones that grow in this way. The mind literally creates the brain. Wow. I think there was one other piece I wanted to, yes. Change your mind and information starts to flow along the new neural pathways in the brain. The brain's neurons reconfigure themselves accordingly, firing and wiring to fit the new pattern. As the mind directs, the brain responds. So, that really made me pause. It made me think about what I'm thinking about. You know? Because what I'm thinking about is literally shaping my brain. I just think that's amazing and totally cool and totally supported by what we are teaching here, okay? So how I started asking the question, how do I want my brain to develop? How do I want my brain to be? How do I want my brain to support my thinking? And so one of the key areas is meditation. Meditation, man, after you read this book, you will definitely become a meditator, okay? Because the things that meditation support for a healthy mind is amazing. It really is. It not only does meditation help clean out all the trash and garbage, okay, that's floating around in the mind, which then gives you the ability to think cleaner and better and faster and all of that stuff. But meditation, for me, is how I make that connection to that deeper place within through meditation. Now, in the book, they talk about the EEG, which is the, I didn't write it down. I can't remember the word. It's a really long word. I don't know it. Yes. Thank you. See, I'm a very simple man. Thank you. Okay, so, but through meditation, they actually, they hook up the mind when people are meditating, and they measure the brain waves, all right? And certain brain waves they measure are when you're really stressed out, okay? And you're kind of in that mode. Then there's like 4 different levels, but the one that I'm really aiming at is the one that they find when that person signals to them that they are connected to the one. And it's a very simple, you're not asleep, you're awake, and you're fully aware, and that's the brainwave that brings us the most stability and the most joy and the most understanding and the most clarity. It's amazing. So, meditation, obviously, a greater resilience in the face of adversity, things that happen in our lives, more sympathy for others when things happen, because, we have the ability to, because it's kind of like we just kind of took a nice deep breath and we can truly be ourselves. Meditation, huge. Music, is what I was saying to Alan. You know, the music that we listen to shapes our brain. Certain music actually causes those brain waves that are really agitating and not necessarily good for us. Certain music brings us to that place. It's all about what you want to choose to do, you know. But it just makes me think about all of these things. What am I doing with my life? Where am I spending my time? Who am I spending my time with? Where's that energy going? You know, for me, my work is my ministry. I'm lucky. I get to hire who I work with. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I only hire people that, the way that I hire is I go into prayer. And sometimes it's somebody that really can benefit from just being there. Not just my benefit to the things they can bring, but what I might be able to bring to them. And so I have to bring it to prayer because my small local mind doesn't really know all that. It doesn't. It's only when I connect to that higher level that I can do that. How I choose to look at things. How do I choose to look at things? Meditation. How I develop my brain. All of that. Am I able to see beyond the condition? Slide. Oh my. I think we might have to turn the lights down here. And can you go back one? Can you go back a slide? There it is. Oh my goodness, we're not going to be able to see that at all. So, okay, that's fine. Yeah, can we get more lights down? But I need to be able to see here, but yeah. Okay, well, that's all right. No big deal. So, one of the, we're looking at, for the month, we have taken the Sermon by the Sea, which was done by Dr. Ernest Holmes out of Sillamar, and we've taken different parts of it. And for this month, the Sermon by the Sea, the piece that we pulled out of it, is find me someone who has given all that he has in love without morbidity, and I will have found the lover of my soul. Is this not true? Why? Because he will have revealed to me the nature of God and proved to me the possibility of all human souls. So let's break it down just a little bit. So find me someone who has given all that he has in love without morbidity. That word threw me a bit, okay, the morbidity thing. And so what it means is, or what I believe it means, is unnatural or abnormal. So what he's saying is it needs to be an authentic love, not an unnatural love, but an authentic love. So I'm going to do that again. Find me someone who's given all that he has in love without or by being authentic. And I will have found the lover of my soul. Keep that word in mind, soul. Because he will have revealed to me the nature of God and proved to me the possibility of all human souls. He's talking to us. He's talking to you and to me. When he says finding that person, he's talking about us. So I'm going to put that whole thing on simmer in the back burner, and I'm going to hang a left, and then we'll pull a U-ing and we'll get back to it, okay? So my lesson title is entitled, Look at Me. Now, I'm not a vain person. I'm a simple man. I'm not a vain person. When I say look at me, let me tell you how that came about. After Kathy asked me to do a lesson, I think it was the next day she asked me for the title, okay? I was like, oh, okay, I haven't even thought about what I'm going to do yet, okay? So each morning I sit in my chair. I have my meditation chair. and I sit there, and then I do my meditation, and then a lot of the mornings I get up and I go outside and I do a walk, okay? And when I open that door, I don't know about you, but I love the early morning. I love opening that door and stepping in and feeling that nice, cool air and just seeing life out there, right? And so I stepped out, and it doesn't matter to me if it's raining or if it's sunny or what it is. I just love it. I just love it. And so I went outside, and I just went, look at me. Look at me. I went, look at me. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's beautiful outside. You know, I talk to myself a lot. And then that voice behind the voice said, no, look at me. I'm one with everything. Look at me. I look out here, look at me. I'm one with all of it. We are all one. Look at me. And so for that walk, I walked and I looked at the trees, and you know, they don't have leaves, but they have these beautiful shapes. And in the early morning, it's, you know, it's kind of black against this kind of a beautiful sunrisey, orangey blue, you know, and it's gorgeous. And look at me. And those little flowers that are popping up, look at me. It's great. And so I have some slides I prepared, and I want you to just look at it and say, look at me. Yeah, can we turn the lights down a little bit, Macy, or do you need it for the, thank you very much. Ah, look at me. Go ahead. And to yourself, just say, look at me. Imagine being there. Turn up the lights. So there is that too. There is that too. It's easy to look at the beauty that's all around and say, look at me. Look at me. Look at all of it. The mind to matter quote is, as we align our individual local minds with the consciousness of universal non-local mind, okay, so he's talking about local mind, our individual mind, with the universal non-local mind, the beauty of the material reality we create surpasses anything our limited minds can even dream of. Sorry, I have that. Pardon me. We cannot deal with these ills in the world or in our own lives at the level of the condition. We must raise ourselves to that higher level. I don't understand some of those things. It's like shootings that happen and all these other things that happen in this world. I cannot deal with it at the level, at this lower level. If you look at our symbol, For those of you who have taken class, you'll follow this pretty closely, and for those of you that have not, I will try to explain. But we have this wonderful V shape, and at the bottom right here, that's the world of conditions. That's the world that we live in. It's the world that we create through our thinking. And then this represents our soul connection. And then, of course, this portion up here, well, that's the divine, the creator, the source of all things. Trying to deal with those things here, we need the soul connection. We must bring our thinking to this level. When Dr. Holmes talks about, and I'm going to reread his quote, I think it's, can you hit the next slide? You can kind of see it. If we turn the lights down, we can see this one. Thank you. Okay. Find me someone who has given all that he has in love without morbidity. That means they have a full understanding and they look beyond the condition. How do we connect beyond the condition? We have to move ourselves up through, and I will have found the lover of my soul. It is the soul connection. That's where we take the ride. That's the ticket. It's going within to the soul. Is this not true? Why? Because he will have revealed to me the nature of God. Because we're connected with God. And prove to me the possibility of all human souls. Well, it's so easy, right? Piece of cake. The thing that I know is that this is my life journey, my spiritual journey, is that connection with the divine. And now what I'm excited about is that my brain is willing to take a ride with me, physically, to rebuild itself in such a way. What do I have to do, though? What do I need to do? Meditate. Yes, yes. And I know this is a pretty simple lesson. It's pretty basic, right? But it totally brought me back to where I needed to be for me personally. These lessons mostly are written for me, and you get to go along for the ride. But it brought it back to me because I'm a simple man. It's your thinking. It's my thinking. We have to rethink and remember the truth of who we are. And to remember that we have everything we need. We have it all. We've even got a brain. We've even been given a brain that'll adjust to our thinking. We've already been given it. We just need to do it and be it and turn to it. We have many services here at the center that enable you to get more in connection with that divine. Whether it's taking classes, whether it's meditation, whether it's meeting with a practitioner. We have all kinds of ways to make this happen. That's what a center of spiritual living is about. the different ways, and each person has a little bit different way that they need to make this happen for themselves, and that's cool, that's fine. That's why we are so open to so many different teachings, including science, right? See, I made a boo-boo. I did. But I corrected it. And you know what? I can already hear those micro tubules growing here right now in this very moment. And so with that, I conclude the lesson for the day. Namaste, and bless you. Okay, so who's up next?